Hey guys, college football update, week 7. Tons to cover. Going to jump right into it as always. We're going to start with Notre Dame and go from there. Notre Dame beat Southern Cal 30 to 27. I realize that a lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to say, Notre Dame's not very good. They barely beat Southern Cal. They let them get back in the game, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. That's fine. Look, here's the thing. Southern Cal is Notre Dame's biggest rival, and you would not know that or think about it if you're not a Notre Dame fan, but the reality is they are. Most people might think that it's, Michigan. Not even close. I mean, Notre Dame has played Southern Cal 70 something years straight, I think. I can't remember. It's probably wrong, but year in, year out, it is the biggest game for Notre Dame, and it's the biggest game for Notre Dame fans, especially for somebody like me who had to live through the Pete Carroll era. I will take any win against Southern Cal that I can get because that was miserable. I mean, Notre Dame would go into that game. I took my father to his first Notre Dame game for his 60th birthday. And we watched a Brady Quinn team, which was pretty good, by the way. We watched a Brady Quinn team get absolutely destroyed by Southern Cal, 42 to 14. Okay, it was great to have my dad there, and it was great that I had the opportunity to take him. But at the same time, wasn't fun. It was 14-14 in the second quarter, and I think at half it was 28-14, and it was off to the races after that. It was just ridiculous. I don't even want to get into it. It was just awful. So my point is, I'll take whatever they can get. And here's the thing. Notre Dame rushed for 300 yards with Tony Jones. And if you've watched this enough and you've watched me talk about it enough, I've talked about the fact that Tony Jones, at least I thought, was not a number one running back. I didn't think that he'd be able to pull it off as the number one guy. But I got to tell you, I mean, watching him, he's slow as Christmas. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's a very, very slow guy. But he runs so hard that, I mean, you have to love the guy because he puts forth so much effort. He ran for 170 plus yards. I mean, against Southern Cal, which look, it's not. This isn't Bowling Green. You know what I mean? This is Southern Cal. They have talent. No matter what anybody might think, they have a terrible coach in Clay Helton, but they have talent. Notre Dame pretty much shut down Southern Cal's wide receivers the whole game, except for Amon-Ra St. Brown. For the most part, everybody else was shut down. The game plan worked as it should have. I mean, again, get out of it with a win. I will say, Marquise Stepp, the talented running back for Southern Cal, who once was a Notre Dame commit, but the rumor is he could not get into Notre Dame academically, so he went to Southern Cal instead. I really wish he could have gotten into Notre Dame because he was amazing. I mean, he would get hit and he'd run 7 or 8 yards after the fact. He is going to be a bowling ball. He looks like Jerome Bettis. I would say that because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but Jerome Bettis is one of the big backs that I can think of, but he really does look that way. He's going to be something special. I really look forward to seeing what he's going to do. But anyway, Notre Dame gets the bye week this week, moving into Michigan over the Halloween weekend, I guess, and we'll see what happens there. Let's move on to the biggest upset of the weekend this past weekend, which was South Carolina beating Georgia 20 to 17. Most people would probably say, for me being a Notre Dame fan, that I wanted Georgia to win out, continue to win. I kind of don't care. I mean, me personally, I feel that Notre Dame's out of it at this point, and I'm okay with that. I just want to see good games, and I love to see a game like that. That is also a big rivalry game. So I love to see that South Carolina was able to go in there and beat Georgia. And the fact that Rodrigo Blankenship, of all people, missed a field goal at the end of the game. I mean, he never misses a field goal. He's automatic. And I think, I don't know, maybe he was lackadaisical about it, who knows. But just amazing that South Carolina was able to win that game with, I think, around 300 yards of total offense, but just a great defensive effort on their part. So to all of my friends who are Carolina fans, and you know who you are, I've got a ton of them. I mean, just so happy for you guys. I mean, just having to deal with, being in the same state as Clemson and Clemson being as good as they are, and to just continue to be a South Carolina fan through thick and thin and everything else. I mean, just, I know it sounds kind of corny to say it, but it is difficult to be in a state where your rival is good, has been doing as good as they have. You needed some good news. So great for them. Again, I don't think I had actually predicted Georgia to win the national championship leading into the season. It's still possible. I mean, if you look at Georgia's schedule and who they have to play, it's absolutely possible. Like, you can't tell me that the one-loss team who wins the SEC isn't going to get in. So but whatever. I don't care about that. I love the fact that South Carolina was able to win that game. Just great win for them. Let's stay in the SEC. LSU beats Florida 42-28. Look, here's the thing. I have not talked a ton about LSU, and not even really sure why. I guess I'm not really. Sometimes I'm not really a believer in a team until I really see it, and I got to see what you're doing. And let me tell you, I mean, I've had you listen to a lot of commentators and folks on TV, and they talk about how Ohio State is the best team. LSU can absolutely make a case for being the best team. I would say Alabama being number one is I'm okay with that, but LSU should absolutely be number two and snugged up right in there against Alabama. And you know what? They play each other, and what a hell of a game that's going to be. So Joe Burrow's the real deal. LSU is the real deal. They finally have an offense. They're finally clicking on all cylinders. Can you imagine if Burrow had been there when they had Fournette? Would have been completely unstoppable. So, at least against Alabama, Fournette didn't do a lot. But if he had a passing game, he might have. So, anyway, just great win for LSU. We'll see what they're able to do. They have to obviously get past Bama now. Let's kind of stay in the state of Louisiana for a second. Tulane goes to 5-1, beat a terrible UConn team, but that's not the point. I heard something about how Tulane has finished. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but something about how they finished in the top 40 only one time in the past. I don't know, maybe since 1960, 1940. I don't know. It was some ridiculous. I'm way off in it, but it was something ridiculous. It's been 30 to 40 plus years where they finished in the top 40. I mean, that does, well, that's not possible because Tommy Bowden has his 1998 team. So it must have been one time before this. So, sorry. They did have the undefeated season in 1998 with Bowden. But that must have been the one team, and then before that, not at all or something. But some kind of ridiculous statistic. Let's put it this way. They have not done a lot. So the fact that Willie Fritz has been able to do what he's doing with that team, I will say the teams that they play, and I'm thinking about, I've got it written down here, Memphis, Temple, UCF, SMU, and Navy. They play all of those teams to finish out the year. That's a tough slate, so it's going to be interesting to see what Tulane is able to do with that schedule. But, wow, I mean, 5-1 for Tulane, that doesn't happen. So great for them. I always admit when I'm wrong. It looks like Herm Edwards is kind of, doing his thing at Washington State. I was very, very vocal about Arizona State hiring Herm Edwards. I thought it was ridiculous. I'm not going to say I'm completely wrong yet. I did say that he could possibly get them to 8 wins, and he still can, and maybe even beyond that. Let's see if he can sustain it. And I got to tell you, I mean, at this point, it looks like he can. So let's see what happens. But good win for them against Washington State. Washington State is just kind of teetering off a cliff at this point. Baylor beats Texas Tech 33-30. They stay undefeated at 6-0. Matt Rule, I have talked about him for years. Huge fan of this guy. I'm not sure that Baylor is going to be able to hold on to him. He's probably going to go someplace a little bit bigger, greener pasture somewhere. But, man, just doing a heck of a job at Baylor. Let's stay with another team that I was not high on, and perhaps I was wrong on this one as well, and that's Minnesota, who beats Nebraska 34-7. I really thought that Scott Frost was going to be able to do a lot more with this team to this point, but I think right now just attempt to get to 6 wins for him. But Minnesota 6-0. I mean, they still have not really played a lot of teams, and I understand that, but Minnesota does not normally, obviously, go 6-0, so great for them, and we'll see what they're able to do with it. This has happened before. I talked about that last week, where Minnesota has gotten off to good starts and then kind of teetered off at the end of it, but I don't think that's going to happen. If you look at their schedule, I think it's looking even better now that they're going to get to maybe 8, even 9 wins, so would be an incredible season for them. Bowling Green somehow beats Toledo 20-7. How in the hell did that happen? I mean, Bowling Green, the quarterback was interesting, and his name escapes me. He played against Notre Dame as well, and he played against Toledo, and I'm pretty sure that's how they won the game. But really, that team just doesn't have a lot going for them. So I have absolutely I guess Toledo just went in there and thought they were going to blow them out. I don't know. It's interesting, but they beat Bowling Green beats Toledo 20-7. I still don't think Bowling Green's going to win another game. I think that is all I had on the slate. So I hope you guys enjoy leading into this next week. Again, Notre Dame's got a bye week, so I'll just be kind of sitting back and relaxing. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the games. All right, guys. See you.